Winter jacket on out there, Molly. Is it necessary tonight? I know we were a little warmer today.
All right, let me justify why I have the winter jacket on. You know how when you break the sandals out in the summer, you refuse to put them away? You just say, you know what, I've made the transition, I'm done. That's where I am at this point with my ever-changing jacket situation on the weather day. I've brought out the winter jacket, I'm just gonna keep it on. Do you need it tonight? You know what, if you're headed out and you're gonna be out for a long period of time, you might need to if you're going to be out and about just to stay toasty warm, but we are mild. We reached 50 degrees again earlier this afternoon. Now temperatures are starting to fall back and we will turn sharply colder overnight. Right now we're in the mid 40s. That's not half bad for this time of year. In fact, 44 in Syracuse is our normal high. So the fact that we're at 44 after sunset, that means it was a pretty warm day. But like I mentioned, temperatures will continue to fall because colder air is on the way. That's what's driving these showers on live triple Doppler radar, brought to you by Falso Service Experts. There will be a push of cold air overnight that changes these lingering rain showers over to some wet, slushy snow showers. We haven't made that transition yet, and with temperatures still hanging out in the 40s, I don't think that switch from rain to flakes happens until much later this evening, probably closer to midnight for a lot of spots in central New York. But just a heads up that if you are headed out, rain gear, not a bad idea. And in places like downtown Syracuse that have seen a few rounds of rain today, the surfaces are pretty wet. As cold air moves in, not only does rain change over to snow, but all of these wet surfaces could be slick for early tomorrow morning. So keep an eye out for untreated spots. There may be some snow-covered roads depending on where you live. And I'm going to show you where the best chance for that is right now. I pick up the Futurecast later on this evening at midnight. That's when that changeover starts to happen. So all of those spotty showers that are left over, notice where we're seeing the shades of blue first over the higher elevations, the hills south of Syracuse, up in the Tug. They make the transition first, and that means they'll likely see a little bit more in the ways of snow stack up by early tomorrow morning. We have a squall move through overnight and some lake effect developing southeast of the lake for early tomorrow morning. When it all comes together, all of these systems are moving so fast that most of us only see a coating. Again, it's the higher elevation south of Syracuse where this lake band will start to focus in the early morning that may see a slushy inch or two, maybe 3, but I think we're going to cap it at 2. Look at what happens by noon. Just as quickly as that lake effect sets up, high pressure and drier air try to take over. So while we're left with some lingering stubborn cloud cover right here in central New York, the snow showers will taper off to flurries by the afternoon. We're actually looking pretty dry as we head into the second half of your Sunday. Problem is that with those strong and shifting winds, temperatures likely won't make it out of the 30s, so it will be noticeably cooler tomorrow. Watch what happens Sunday night. That's our next chance for some snowfall across central New York. It's a quick clipper system, moves through very quickly. It's enough for a quick coating, again, in many places on the colder surfaces, the exception being by the lakeshore, just warm enough to keep that as a mix or a cold rain. Again, it's in the higher elevations of the Tug and maybe to the hills south of Syracuse where new lake effect sets up early Monday morning that we may see some issues. Timing on this is near perfect. Most of the snowfall falls overnight while we're sleeping. So you wake up to a coating tomorrow, maybe a slushy inch or 2 in the higher elevations. Late Sunday night, it's the Tug Hill that may see 2 to 4 inches possibly. So that means your road impacts ahead. I'm focused on Sunday morning, Monday morning, but really in the grand scheme of things, it's not a huge deal. It's just not as quiet as we have been. Look at the stretch of the middle of the week. Aside for some sprinkles on Wednesday, we're mild in the upper 40s and mid 50s. Rain returns on Friday. So make sure you get our Weather Authority app, brought to you by CNYRealtor.com. Interactive Doppler lets you zoom right into street level.